Mortgage DNA Nation. Hey, usually it's the Hump Day Holler, but Andrew and I wanted to kind of sit back. The Fed spoke yesterday afternoon, so figured it'd be worth your while for us to come on today, give you some better, more accurate information instead of talking about in the morning what we think the Fed's going to say and do. And now we sort of know exactly what the Fed said, what their next moves are. So, Andrew, good to be back with you, my man. How was your week, buddy?
It's good. It's been a kind of a crazy week, a little bit of a sleepless night until the Fed spoke yesterday. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, same thing. You sit back and you're not sure what they're going to say and
Right.
and the impact, and you know, it's good. What I've been telling my mortgage gumbo audience, Andrew, is they wasn't going to lower rates in January,
No.
and they're not going to lower them in March. And I went out and started talking about that in December, because if you look at the data, dude, they can't, right? I mean,
No.
if you look at everything, it just doesn't make sense. And Jerome Powell kind of reiterated that yesterday. And you saw the stock market kind of fall a little bit, but yet
Yeah.
here it is back today, rebounding, right? So all those rate cuts that were in there, supposedly there was supposed to be 7 of them. And you and I talk about this off air, but I think it's important that our listeners understand, it just can't happen right now. It just
No.
can't. And Powell basically reiterated that. He said, hey, we don't see it happening in March. They'll continue to look at the data, which, of course, what else would he say? And then go from there. What was your take on it overall, Andrew?
This isn't an original saying, but I did read about it and I thought it nailed it. The Feds took an elevator to raise the rates, and they're going to take the stairs to lower them.
That's a great point. Yeah.
And that's, I thought, they were going to stay the same, right? I didn't think they were going to cut.
Yeah.
But there was some favorable talk, and sometimes what he says and what he chooses to say is very powerful. So I think that we're just, there will be cuts made in the future. I don't know when. You don't know when.
Yeah.
But at least they didn't raise them. At least, I think we're going to have the soft landing. And I don't want to see a recession.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see inflation come back. And I think that they might get it right this time. I really do.
Yeah, I think they're going to get lucky on this because, look, him and Yellen, they all thought, inflation's transitory and all
Yeah.
that, right? Like,
Yeah.
going to be easy. I think they're going to actually get lucky here. I think what you're going to see is, no matter what, it's an election year.
Yeah.
So you start looking at in May, if they do something in May, then you've got May, June, July meetings, then a September meeting, then there's an election, right? So I think if they started cutting a little too soon, then the last thing they want to do is make it look like what they're doing is political, when you and I both know I think it is. I think we're going to see that. I think we'll see that tomorrow, to be honest with you, when all you're hearing about is all these layoffs and everything
Yeah.
like that. And watch tomorrow. I mean, the people I follow, somehow all these layoffs, and I think you're not going to see jobs report be as bad as it should be, because
I think the next one might be.
yeah,
Right. I
but
think, yeah.
that's what I'm saying. But I think everything points to you should have less jobs out there.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to show that. I mean, because of all the layoffs and all that kind of
Right.
stuff.
Right.
However, we know November and December when people got to be Santa Claus and all that. But how can all Salesforce, UPS, all these gigantic companies,
Microsoft,
Amazon,
right? Yeah.
laying
Right.
off all these thousands and thousands and thousands of tens of thousands of employees, and yet unemployment's staying the same,
Right.
right? So I think you're going to see that as a measure that's going to kind of go the other way. So
If they could track the people that have ran out of unemployment,
oh yeah,
that would be a whole nother interesting stat to add.
absolutely,
But
yeah.
so
Well,
be it.
and look, they take people out of after the 4 weeks if they haven't found a job. They just don't count them anymore.
Right.
How great is that?
So look, overall though, this is what I'm saying. I think that eventually we'll have some relief, but it's going to be everything's going to just be stairwell down, right? Not
Yeah.
the elevator.
Yeah.
I wish. So auto loans, credit cards, and the credit card thing's the scariest to me. I think that's
Right.
where that's what the credit card is going to derail future home buyers based on their spending habits and just where the rates are at. I think that's going to be that's my takeaway.
Yeah. Well, and I think the other thing that's going to be forced as well, in Ohio,
Yeah.
is the for y'all property assessments. Is it every 4 years? I don't know if that's a national thing or if that's
You
a
mean like our county property taxes?
yeah, your property
Oh
taxes.
man, that's like, oh man, that's seems like it's every year anymore. Yeah, no, every year they do come by and
Okay.
they assess them. Yeah,
See, one of the things we're going to be dealing with here in South Louisiana, Mississippi, it's every 4 years, right? So guess what? The last time it got done was in 2020.
a lot
Well,
of them
guess what
praise
you
that.
had in
Yeah,
2020? 20% appreciation. In 21, 19%. So, one of those things I keep telling people that you're going to see a little bit more pain is going to be, and in our market, Andrew, one of the things we're dealing with down here is insurance. Homeowners insurance is pathetic. It's through the roof. It's disgusting. How is insurance in y'all area?
you know what I mean, I know that this isn't scripted. I'm telling you, I literally changed insurance the other day.
Okay.
Mine and my dude, and he's been with me. I've known him since high school.
Yeah.
It was going to renew, and he says, "Okay, you should probably shop." So I had to,
Yeah.
and it just I was shocked. Like, I'm the perfect candidate. Like, no DUIs, great credit scores, no acts. You know what I mean? I should
Yeah.
be like, they
Yeah.
should be giving me a check. I should be their walking commercial.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, it's because of, it's the South, right? You got the floods, you got the hurricanes, you got,
Yeah.
thanks. I appreciate it for
Yeah. Yeah,
my pain, man.
we
Yeah.
take it on the chin for you. I mean, and that's one of the things. I've got a quote we just got right now: $200,000 home, and their their homeowners insurance is $4,200. Now I'm able to still get them in line, and that's because you start talking about the difference coming down from that 795 to now mid to upper sixes.
Yeah.
When you're looking at that, that is something that it's helping out a little bit. Right. And that's the part I think you and I keep talking about of why it's so important to buy. So I went back and I got some numbers last week. We talked about the new home sales and what was going on. Listen to what it looks. Now we've got a whole year of data now, right?
Yeah.
All of 2023's numbers in. Case Schiller is 6% is what they're saying. Once all the numbers are finalized, 6% home appreciation in 2023. FHFA, that's Fair Housing Finance Association, 7%. CoreLogic, 7%. Black Knight, 7%, right? And now Freddie just came out and said 7%, right? So, all of these, every one of them, all five of these folks who put it out also said that we've been having all-time highs since July of last year. So every month since July, every time a new home. So those are the things there. And I talked about this past week. I had somebody call me about median home price, and they were like, hey, median home price is down 14% year over year. And I had to explain to them, median home price just means that Dwayne and Andrew's clients are buying a cheaper house. The appreciation's not gone down.
Nope.
They're just buying a cheaper house because of rates, insurances, all those factors. So, I think when you're looking at this, again, our job is to kind of make sure the reason why we're doing this show here is in this podcast is to keep people educated. But this is more proof when you had rates that were at all time or decade highs, right? Still, you're going to get a 7% appreciation across the country.
Right.
That's bananas. That's
not even like, think
homeowner.
about, and that's just like an average, right? Like,
Yes.
We're not even considering the hot markets, right? Like
That's
where
right.
everybody wants to live. I mean, that's probably more than double that.
Sure. Well, yeah, because look, real estate's local, right? So you've got a neighborhood in Ohio, in the Cleveland area that's probably blowing and going, and you got another one that it's like, hey, I don't know if I want to live there because
Sure.
people get shot every day, right? We have that
Right.
stuff here in New Orleans as well. So it's all local. Like we tell folks, look outside your window, and that's your housing market, right? That's your market and what's going on. But I think as we continue to go forward, Andrew, it is, with the Fed kind of standing pat, and what I'm excited about, Andrew, is this, and you and I I mean, we're blessed to be good-looking, ball-headed guys, right? That's just a blessing that we have. But, we're also kind of data nerds. And, one of the things I think that I want our listeners to understand is we don't have to wait for the Fed announcement to start seeing mortgage rates
Right.
go down, right? Because those are short-term. And,
Right.
I think we've mentioned this on a previous podcast, but I want everyone that's watching to understand. Go take the 10-year treasury, whatever that is, add 1.75. That's normally where your 30-year conventional rate should be. And we're about 100 bases over that right now. So to me, that shows between the bonds and the treasury yields, there's some ways to go. And I think as investors start to feel more comfortable about what the Fed's now doing,
it'll loosen up.
Those investors will give some of that money back,
Yeah.
right? So some of that stuff it'll shrink. And that's why, you'll start to see those mortgage rates going down without the Fed even making cuts.
We always look at the 10-year, but I think right now with this inverted yield curve with the 2-year too, like that, I think once that gets more in line, I think that's when we're really going to see the rates move down nicely. But until then, I don't care what the 10-year is doing.
Well, so let's talk about that for a split second, because what will that mean when it does change, right? From a personal level, it's going to mean that 90-day CD you're getting, right? All that stuff's going to change.
That's gone. Yeah.
Right? Your 6-month CD. And here's how you know this. They're already planning for it because you know what I'm starting to see, Andrew? I'm starting to see
advertisement, right?
1.9% is coming back on car loans for 72 months.
Yep.
So what that tells you is as that starts to switch and you see more of that, folks, that means money that's in your bank is that you're not going to be making as much. So there's got to be give and take.
Give and take.
Right? So those are things that just understand. And that's why we do this every week for you to make sure that we keep you up to date on everything that is going on. What else you got, man? What's going on in your world? Anything good?
You know what's funny? How is this? I'm driving home last night from my kids' baseball, and I still noticed Christmas lights up. Do you guys have people that still have the Christmas lights up?
Yeah, bro. It's
I caught it like probably 15 homes, and I'm talking like
it's kind of in bad. Like
the
why?
deer, the reindeer, like it's all out. The hell?
Yeah, I see that. Now y'all have a little bit of excuse because you might have 10 inches of snow on the ground. We kind of, what are we doing here, right? Like I agree. It's kind of what we have right now is because our plants down here, we plant differently than y'all do up in Northeast Ohio, right? So here, every house in my neighborhood, which is a gated community, almost looks like Sanford and Son, man. You've got these beautiful houses, and then you got people with sheets, blankets over.
The frost for the frost.
Yeah, well, because they're trying to cover their plants and their trees to keep things from dying. Because when you put that palm tree in, it looks good all year until you get 2 or 3 days of below freezing and that cold snap, and then everything dies, and then you got to replace. So everybody's putting all these plants. So you're driving by all these houses. Now, what I am seeing a lot of for us down here, people kind of keep their trees up through Mardi Gras because they take the Christmas ornaments off and then they decorate it for Mardi Gras. See, y'all don't have that.
I mean, we have we joke about Easter trees, right? So kind of just goes to the Easter, right?
Yeah,
so,
funny. That's a little long. Long, right? But we've got a couple folks that I still see will have the Christmas lights up and all that. So that's a little bit bananas. But
I thought so. Yeah, that's just my random thought. Other than that,
I mean, bro. So
wait. So let's talk about one thing. So obviously, you're in the heart of Mardi Gras country, and you're going to be on a float.
It's cranking up. It's cranking up really this week. They started some parades last week, but this weekend the parades start really Friday, and then you got them every night through Fat Tuesday, which is in 2 weeks, right?
Do you help decorate the float and make it nice?
No. There's companies that do that. Like Blaine Kern is a huge one down here. So no, we don't. There's truck parades which is somebody has an 18-wheeler, like the front of an 18-wheeler, and they'll
Okay.
decorate a truck. So there's truck parades on Mardi Gras that roll, which are super cool. They'll decorate those. But
Yeah.
like the parade I'm in, that's called Mad Hatters, is a lot of corporate sponsors. So, you ride on, like the float I'm on is called Bayou Charters, and he's got a big redfish in the front. It's a fish, right? So that's all done. And the good thing about that is they kind of take care of that. Now, what we're dealing with this weekend, Andrew, is like we're supposed to ride on Saturday,
Yeah.
and now there's a bad line of storms coming through. So we literally, as I was logging on with you, we just got the alert that we're now not, instead of being Saturday at 5 in Metairie, we're going to do 4. So we got to follow it because there's another parade on
Yeah.
Sunday. So, hey, they went out. We got to go behind them. So,
You got your rain gear? You got your
yeah, well,
galoshes?
Sunday's
Yeah.
supposed to be a little bit nicer.
All
But
right.
partying on a Saturday, now you got work the next
Yeah.
day. My son's got school the next day. They got a scrimmage the next day. So it's a little bit different. You can't really let loose, whereas on a Saturday, it's like, hey, you got a day of
What you
recovery.
guys should do is let loose on Saturday so you feel so horrible on Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just take advantage of it.
Yeah, well, that's we just call those weekends here in New Orleans,
Is that
Andrew,
what they
right?
call?
Those are
Right.
weekends in New
Right.
Orleans, so it happens, man. So, but for me, man, look, baseball starting for my son's senior year. Got scrimmages starting Saturday. I know your boy's out doing the wrestling, man, the baseball as well, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. He's doing both. Yeah. So hopefully, wrestling's tough. You learn, you either win or you learn, and he's doing a lot of learning. So
Yeah,
it's going
well,
to take some time, but
yeah,
I'm expecting big things. So we have this thing in my household, like I might be archaic, but he's got there's no PlayStation, there's no Xbox, doesn't have a phone. He's not
okay,
getting a phone until he's 15, or
okay,
or until he places at states.
okay.
So he might be 15. Uh, right,
That's tough, bro.
but that's it. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not going to waver on that either.
yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
tough, man.
I think
We'll
it'll be
see.
better for him. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll
We'll
see.
see.
I'm a
Yeah.
challenge on that. We'll see.
All
We'll see
right.
if how old is he now?
He's 10.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
shot. No shot you winning that one, brother. It sounds good. I'm
I'm going to
with
be
you.
doing like electronic sweeps of his bedroom
Yeah,
to make
yeah,
sure like it's
absolutely.
no contraband in there.
Exactly. Yeah. Now you
Yeah.
can go buy the little iPhone, all the phone mystery phones, the Coke
Yeah. The
phones, I call
burners
them.
and all
The
that. Yeah.
burners. Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
happening. It's not
yeah.
happening.
All right. We'll see, man.
I have some
We'll see. So
problems. Yeah. I might ship him down to you if I catch him,
hey, let's do it, bro. We'll discipline them up, man. We'll
Right.
discipline them. So
Okay.
all right, brother. Hey, appreciate everybody joining in. Hey, every Wednesday, Hump Day Holler right here with me and my man, Andrew Makovich, Mortgage DNA. Follow us. Go follow Andrew Makovic. Find him on LinkedIn, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. Eventually, we're going to have a nice website you'll be able to visit and all that, but we're easy enough to find. I'm at Mortgage Gumbo Dadcam, and you could find him as well. So
Don't forget the .com.
the
I mean, that's
Dadcam, man.
it's important.
Dadcam, brother.
Right
So
on. All right.
all right,
Thanks, everybody.
appreciate you, man. All right,
See ya.
everybody. We'll see you
Bye.
later.